Bless you.
Welcome back, guys. Afternoon Shenanigans, Season 2, Episode 8, Part 4. Before James picks back up, I got a question. What was in that phone that she was hiding in her car, or Austin was hiding in her car?
So the phone,
that they wanted
the phone, this fucking phone. So the phone ended up being sent back in Matthew's evidence box. And we kind of touched base on this in season 1, episode 14.
Yep.
My brother's ex lives with my mom. This was the ex right before he started dating the chick that got him killed.
The mother of his children.
That evidence box was sent back to mom. And mom has not been ready to open it. So she put it in the bottom of the closet behind some stuff, whatever. She came up here to San Antonio for one of my wrestling shows. Got home, and something told her she needed to look at that box because she saw my disabled nephew that is nonverbal autistic wearing some jewelry, and she's like, oh, Matt used to have some pieces just like that. And Jenna's like, oh yeah, I bought those up at Dollar King while you were gone. And mom goes, I need to check that box. Something's telling me to check Matthew's box. Sure enough, all the evidence tape was cut. Mom opens it, that jewelry's missing, and she knew that that was jewelry Matthew wore religiously and was told that Matthew had on at the time he arrived at the hospital.
Why didn't
my mom did exactly what she should have done, and I feel sorry for Daniel, but I don't. Daniel's 19, okay? And he's more aware than people give him credit for. Me and this kid have spent a lot of one-on-one time, so I can testify to that. Yeah, my mom ripped the jewelry off of Daniel and took it away. And she went in at Jenna, but yet she's still taking care of Jenna. And I will name drop on that. I don't care. The phone was still in there when mom opened the box. But mom got a message from one of the detectives, I think it was. And they were like, hey, we just realized that Matthew's phone was never scanned. It was never processed.
How do you just realize that?
Because the parole hearing was coming up, so they were re-going through evidence. But, so they asked mom if mom could send it. Mom went to retrieve the phone. The phone is nowhere to be found. She has tore the entire house, garage, storage, everything upside down. And she swears it was in that box when she looked for the jewelry.
So, only Jenna could have done it.
And get this, Jenna used to be married to the guy of the mother that got shot in the trailer that my brother was taking care of. And Jenna's neighbor that lived across the way that had a security system told the cops it was fake cameras and admitted to erasing the footage. I think Jenna was part of it. Because before we even got a full story of what was happening, Jenna was calling me, telling me my brother was dead, and my brother was still alive at that point.
What did she accomplish?
And that wasn't her place to tell me nothing.
What did she think she was going to accomplish by being a part of that? If anything, she loses out.
Because she manipulates my mom with her son.
I'm betting that if that boy ever talks, he's going to have a lot to tell you and your mom. I'm betting that boy's a witness to a lot more than anyone else. Because he can't talk. And I'm wondering if that has
That's how Matthew and her got together. Because like I said, I hide nothing. I keep everything 100% real with everybody, okay? Matthew used to be a drug dealer before he got sober. That's how Matthew met Jenna and Zachariah. No, I know. I'm just saying. That's how Matthew met Jenna and Zachariah. And Matthew noticed that Daniel was different. Daniel was like 10 at the time when they met. And he goes, hey, what's up with Daniel? Why doesn't he act like most kids? Like my daughter and my son are like chatterboxes. And she goes, oh, he's nonverbal autistic. We don't want to learn sign language. So my brother went to the library that day, got every book he could get on sign language, and stayed up all night learning everything so that when he went the next day to do a drop, he sat there and asked Daniel how his day was, how he was doing, and Daniel just lit up. So Matthew would literally go kidnap their kid essentially because they were too high to notice, and then take him exploring and have conversations with him, and they would go pick out cool rocks by the railroad track. And he took the time to give this kid a voice at home, not just at school.
Jinx.
And then my brother fell in love with the kid, so he started dating the female, and the female destroyed his life.
Wait a minute. Jinx, you said Matthew knew the end was coming. You said you're sure Jenna was in on it. What if the boy told Matthew, and that's how he knew? I mean,
I don't know. Because supposedly, I don't know how true this is. Supposedly, a day or two before the shooting, he video chatted Jenna and apologized to her for his outbursts, his temper, him putting his hands on her at times, and everything else, that he realized he was wrong and that he was making some moves to come back home to Texas so he could be with his kids and me and mom. And when my mom found that notebook with that letter in it, there was plane tickets that he was supposed to fly out the next morning after the shooting to come home and surprise my son for his birthday and his daughter for her birthday.
I think the boy told Matthew. That's what I think. I'm listening to all of this, and I'm a pretty good detective, hence how I figured shit out with stuff. So it took a while, but I still figured it out. And I'm sitting here listening, and I'm putting pieces together, and the only one that could communicate with the boy was Matthew. And then he all of a sudden knew the end was near.
He tries to communicate with me, but I haven't been able to grasp the sign language. But him and I have our own way of communicating, because I'll get him and I'll be like, Daniel, look at Aunt Mandy. Because me and Matthew are so similar. And he'll look at me and he'll go, yeah. And I was like, okay, breathe. And he'll go, and I'm like, okay, let it out. And he goes, I was like, okay, what do you want to do? Point to Aunt Mandy what you want to do. What's bothering Daniel? And then he'll communicate with me that way. But Jenna can't do that with him. She gets at him and gets in his face, even remotely. He freaks out and starts beating things, beating himself, and just melts down. Won't even try to communicate. And he has a chronic masturbation habit that she thinks is a party trick to show off. But she shares a bed with her 19-year-old son.
Ew!
Yeah. And that it's okay because he's disabled. No.
No, that doesn't make it okay. That makes it worse.
Yeah.
He's 19. She can't even schedule a dentist or doctor's appointment. My mom does it because she says it's too confusing. But yet she can send money to her boyfriend that's in jail.
Really awesome.
Have you tried having Have you tried having him type it out on your phone? What?
Yeah, he just goes to YouTube. He won't do it.
But it's for you. He might.
Nope, I've tried.
If he knows anything.
No, because she helicopter moms him, and because of the restraining order, her and I aren't supposed to be in the same household. When I was stuck at my mom's house all that time at Christmas, I was tempted fate. Because I done beat her ass. More than once.
On that note, guys, we're going to take another break. We'll be back with Part 5 in just a second.